What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the 2025 Toyota Tundra. This one is a Platinum finished off in Lunar Rock, has an MSRP around $72,000. Big shout out to Flo Toyota of Statesville for providing this new truck for today's video. Check out their website linked down below. Underneath the hood of the 2025 Toyota Tundra, you're going to find the iForce Max, which is a 3.4 liter twin turbocharged 6-cylinder hybrid motor. This makes 437 horsepower with 583 pound-feet of torque. It's paired to the 10-speed automatic transmission. This does have a 4-wheel drive and an auto limited slip differential. Curb weight's going to be a little over 6,000 pounds. Max towing capacity is over 10,000 pounds. And then it runs on a 32.2 gallon fuel tank, and you can expect 19 miles per gallon in the city with 22 out on the highway. The overall length is 233.6 inches with a wheelbase at 145.7. Width is 80.2 and height is 78 inches. The Tundra also has some off-road capabilities like approach angle at 21 degrees, ground clearance at 8.5 inches, and then departure angle at 24 degrees. Moving on to the exterior styling with the 2025 Toyota Tundra, pretty much unchanged from the last couple years. You're going to notice that massive grille absolutely dominates the front end. You can see the chrome Toyota badge with a forward-facing camera, and I do like the mesh. It has that nice shiny chrome look to it as well. Around the entire grille, we have more of that chrome trim, and then it does make our way into the lower portion of the front bumper. We have some LED fog lights. It says Tundra right up in front with a safety sensor. We have parking sensors, and then a nice plastic black material for the front. You're going to get a little bit of body color on that front bumper as well, and then that trim makes its way to the LED headlights. You can see the quad beam along with the daytime running lights. Overall, it's a bold truck. It definitely is massive looking with that front end. You have some sharp body lines up on the hood that fade their way towards the windshield, and then you're going to get the iForce Max badge as well. Around the front, you can see how the body color cuts its way to the side. We have a gloss black color for the fender, and then a nice set of 20-inch wheels. Got a nice gloss gray color, sharp body lines on that front fender, and then our Platinum badge down below. There's some more chrome trim, sharp lines all throughout the side, body colored on the door handles as well as the mirror caps, and then all black trim throughout the windows. This is the Crew Max, so it's going to have the nice full-size 4 doors, and you can see all those sharp lines from the front and the back. You're going to see a massive third brake light up behind the cab, power sliding rear glass with all of your cameras, and then more sharp body lines for the bedside, making our way into the rear. You can see the red LED taillights with these nice 3 bars, and then for the rear end, you can see more sharp body lines for the upper portion of the tailgate. We got the Toyota name, LED light camera, and then your Tundra name is stamped into the bed. You also have the iForce Max badge, 4x4 badge, and then some more body color throughout this rear bumper. You have some plastic material throughout the center, all of your trailer hitch connections and extra lighting, and then there is even a small step over on this one side along with a black exhaust tip. Taking a look at the key fob, we're going to get lock, unlock. You can also open up the tailgate, panic button, and then just some black color. If I go ahead and lock the truck, you do have power folding side mirrors, but you can just grab the door handle, everything will automatically unlock, and we can check out the interior. This spec is going to get a really nice black leather trimmed interior with blue accents throughout the stitching. For the door panel, you can see some of that blue stitching. We have this nice soft touch for all of the trim design, your release handle, all of your controls, as well as memory seating. You got a nice padded armrest with more blue stitching, and then a lot of storage all throughout it. You're going to see power controls up front, and then the smooth black leather, all the contrast stitching, and then perforations all throughout the center of these seats. Nice and padded, really nice design. I love the contrast. And then a 4-spoke leather wrapped steering wheel with some silver trim. And then now inside the 2025 Tundra Platinum, keep my foot on the brake. We can go ahead and fire it up. Engine may or may not turn on, being a hybrid. However, it did just fire up. You're going to see the Toyota badge right in the center with this nice faux stitching. We have a couple controls on the left side for Bluetooth and audio, as well as the center screen. And then on the right side, we're going to get a lot of the cruise control settings. For the gauge cluster, you can see that massive tack. We have your boost gauge, your hybrid gauge as well. And on the left side, you can scroll through all sorts of different bits of information. We have all sorts of safety settings. And then on the left, you can continue over. Trailer settings you're able to play with and adjust. Audio controls, navigation, and then some of the eco information as well. On the right stock, you're going to get the stock for windshield wipers, and then on the left side, we have turn signals and headlights. Over on the left side, we have your dome light for the bed, automatic high beams, the fuel door, a couple other controls, heated steering wheel, and we can turn the power side steps on. We have some soft touch down below, your air vent, more soft touch, heads-up display. You have a nice storage bin up above, and then more soft touch all across the dashboard. We have this plastic material that says Platinum in it, and it has an aluminum look to it. Massive air vents, more of this soft touch material with all the contrast stitching. Then you're gonna get the massive multimedia screen right in the center. You can see we have the navigation that will pop up, of course, once set up, and then there's audio information, phone integration. Under the vehicle, you can see some seat controls like the massage functions. We can go under trip information, see a few things like that. And then you also have vehicle alerts, if any, and then all of your settings. Of course, once set up, it will be a little bit more in-depth, and you will have Apple CarPlay as well. In reverse, you have a massive backup camera, top-down view, all sorts of different views you can play with. We can view the bed, and then you have a close-up of all of your four wheels. Front view, rear view, auto, different guidelines as well. Underneath that, you're going to see a small LCD display with physical controls. We have the button for all the different modes for your climate. We have heated and ventilated seating, dual zone temperature you can play with, fan speed right in the center, and a couple other shortcuts all throughout it. You've got a USB port, you have your volume icon, trailer settings are down here, and then more toggles down below. For the trailering, the shortcut to camera, you can see your tailgate, and then we have wireless phone charging and a ton of storage. We have the electronic park and brake, and then a nice design around the shifter, and we can pop that open to reveal two cup holders. You're gonna get more storage in the center console with some nice padding in the armrest. You can pop that open for an extra bit of hidden storage, and you can slide that back to gain access into the center console. We can also open up that to have better access. And then right in front, you're gonna get all of your four-wheel drive controls. We have drive modes as well as the tow and haul mode. So if we toggle this, it's gonna pop up on the screen with a nice display for the three different drive modes. And then one last look at the interior. Has a really cool look, especially with the leather. You're gonna get a massive panoramic sunroof up above with that sunshade. You can see all those controls, the sliding rear glass. You're also gonna have a sunglass holder, and then we have the LCD camera for the rear view. There's garage door buttons underneath it as well. And then moving on to the rear seat space, if I grab the door handle and open it up, we do have the power operations for those side steps, and then being the Crew Max, you're gonna get these massive doors. For the back, you are going to get the same contrast stitching along with the nice soft touch materials, tons of storage, and we even have a nice manual sunshade. Back seats are going to be finished just like the fronts with the nice leather, contrast stitching, and perforations, and the headrest will even go out of the way for better driver visibility. In the center, we can pull this one down, and you're going to have a nice armrest with two cup holders, and then we are going to get heated and ventilated seats back here, which is really a cool touch. We have extra plugs. You're gonna get your air vents themselves, cup holders, and then there is storage behind all of the seats. So sitting into the back seat with the Toyota Tundra now. So being the Crew Max, of course, you do have some massive doors. This has comfort access, so the seat has been slid back for that feature. However, I still have a ton of legroom and footroom at my height, 5'11". Headroom could be maybe a little better. You got about an inch up there, so a little bit less than what I expected, quite honestly. However, the recline is pretty nice. The seats are comfortable, so this really could be a good family truck. I don't think many people are going to complain sitting in the back of a Crew Max. Taking a look at the bed space, of course, you can use the button on the tailgate, the one on the interior, or the key fob. However, there's even one right on the taillight. Pressing that, it's going to automatically open the step as well as the tailgate itself. This one has a spray and bed liner, so everything has this nice durable coating. We have an outlet on the right side, channels, LED lights, and just a ton of space overall in the bed of this truck. To go ahead and close everything, you can actually just nudge it with your leg, which is a really cool touch, especially when you're using this as a work truck. And then once that closes, the step is also going to power operate and get out of the way. So setting off now in the new Tundra, we'll just leave it in eco mode for right now. So being a hybrid, it doesn't drive in full electric or anything like that. However, when you're in slow speeds, it will do the EV system, which is a nice touch for just slow speed. Basically, the most inefficient times where a gas truck would be driving, the electronics will kick in. So slow speed parking lot, or when you're first accelerating, you're gonna see the Max logo right there. Have the blue, and then the boost gauge will kick in as the engine's power overrides the electronics. So the hybrid system is quite nice. It gives you a ton of power. I mean, obviously over 500, nearly 600 pound-feet of torque. This thing packs a punch. It gets up to speed and moves. It's decently economical. You know, we're averaging 2.5 miles per gallon. Obviously, this truck has been living in a parking lot for its initial life. But anyways, you can still get decent gas mileage, about what you would expect on the old V8. However, you know, you're gonna get a heck of a lot more power and towing capabilities that you just don't get in an old V8. So I like the hybrid system, honestly. I think it makes it quite nice to drive. The interior has a lot of good bells and whistles for that, low $70,000 price tag. A lot of other trucks are this price that don't really have that many bells and whistles. So this is something pretty nice to be in. And if you want to do some trails and off-road in the Tundra, you have the capabilities to actually do that. Even though this one is more of a street-focused one, of course there are plenty of TRD versions that are going to be really good off pavement. Turning circle is pretty large, so it's not the most nimble thing out there. However, suspension is really good on the gravel, and when you're getting up to speed, sounds nice and smooth. Obviously not redlining or anything going crazy, but it's a smooth power delivery and a smooth ride. This doesn't really just drive like a body-on-frame rugged truck. This kind of drives like the Sequoia, which is still a body-on-frame truck SUV, but this drives very refined. So it's a nice smooth place to be, a really good family pickup truck. If you're going to use this for the day-to-day, maybe you also are a contractor or some sorts where you need to use the truck aspects, but then weekends, vacations, family, recreation, the Tundra can kind of do it all because it's comfortable and nice, but also extremely rugged and tough. And being a Toyota, we know these are fairly reliable once they worked out a couple of the kinks with the engines. But overall, this drives really good. Visibility is great, like any pickup truck. I love the camera system. That is a really good touch. And while it is massive, it's really not that hard to place it. You can see the corners and everything. And it's just an overall pretty nice place to be. Once again, turning circles, pretty large, but what else would you expect from a massive truck? Interior use of materials, this is really nice. We have real leather, everything's comfortable, soft touch everywhere. Really can't complain from the driver's point of view. Nice place to be. So honest thoughts with the Toyota Tundra. At the price tag, it seems very nicely equipped. It has every bell and whistle you would expect, and it's not $100,000. These days, a lot of these trucks go crazy in price. It's nice to see that the Tundra, it's not a cheap truck, but it's very well equipped for what you get. Driving it with the hybrid engine, not everyone's gonna like a 6-cylinder turbo hybrid. Lots of moving parts, very complicated versus an old school V8. People love the V8s, reliable, robust, not a bad way to go. However, changing times, this is what Toyota's gone for. And with the hybrid, there are so many benefits, especially power and capabilities. I've done a lot of towing over the last 15 years of my life, quite honestly, towing 6,000 pound boats, even up to 10,000 pound boats. And when you have a diesel truck, diesels tow so well over a standard gas truck, the hybrid kind of reminds me of that. You have that EV torque like in a diesel. The diesels just have that bottom end torque, 1,800 RPM. The hybrid system kind of does the same thing that a diesel does, to where you just have so much bottom end, and it is quite nice, especially when towing something really, really heavy. So you have that instant power all down below. Basically idle, you have almost all your torque due to the electronic system. So for me, the hybrid's really nice. Gas mileage is not what these are about. And I feel like it kind of gets people a little confused when they see the Tundras, all these hybrids, they think crazy good MPG. Hybrids can make very good MPG, as we've seen in other cars. However, hybrids can also be about power and performance, like we've seen in these supercars, the 1,000 horsepower, $1 million supercars out there. They don't have hybrid powertrains for efficiency. They have them to have even more performance. And that's what Toyota's done with a truck like this. It's decent gas mileage. It's about what you're going to expect on a V8, but you have basically twice the torque and better capabilities. So to me, I like that, provided it's robust, long-term, all that stuff that truck buyers want. I think that's the biggest disconnect. Truck buyers want reliability and simplicity, and you don't get that with the turbo hybrid. Not to say it's not reliable, but it's not simple by far. But nonetheless, as a consumer, when you use the product, it drives good. It drives really good, really smooth. The platform itself is comfortable and refined. It's a great place to be. A family road trip, recreation, towing a cart trailer, a toy trailer, a big boat, whatever you need to do, this Tundra's gonna be able to handle it. And you have the space and the capabilities to just do anything you want. Technology works fine too. These screens, they're a little simple, honestly. However, you still get basically everything you're gonna need throughout this screen. It's massive, but it fits this massive interior too. I like all the soft touches. Everything you touch in this is a nice material. There's real leathers in it. So, I don't know. There's not much to complain about with the new Tundras. It's a little bulky looking on the outside, I will say. Maybe not the most attractive truck out there, but it looks cool. It looks tough. And I think it does fit a very good modern taste. The old one was definitely showing its age a little bit. This one, not so much. Seems like a nice modern truck. I don't have any drastic complaints with the new Toyota Tundra, honestly. I feel like it's just a fine overall truck. It definitely is gonna stir up some controversy with the powertrain being hybrids, but I think overall the hybrid is the way to go. It just really gives you performance that you can't get in other trucks. And Toyota has done a great job with their hybrids over 20, 30 years almost. And the Tundra definitely seems to fit a lot of people's tastes. Good price range from a more basic one with just the standard engine configuration all the way up to a big one like this. But there are my thoughts on the 2025 Toyota Tundra Platinum. Sweet spec, I love the color. Interior is quite nice as well. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content, and a big shout out once again to Flo Toyota of Statesville for providing this truck for today's video. Check out their website linked below, and I'll see you all in the next video.